It's 2,380 years ago, and you were there. The Jewish people had a very difficult decision to make. What would you have done? But first, let's get a little bit of background. 2,380 years ago, in the land of Persia, and the king Ahasuerus is making a Suda in Shushan. And he invites all the people, including, of course, the Jewish people. Mordechai says not to go. Not very clear why. Pischon Peh L'Satan. You're going to start up with the Satan. Not very clear. But the Jews had to decide. They decided to go. Perhaps one of the reasons, if they would have interviewed the social director of the court, he would have told them some things like this. He would have told them it would be insane not to attend. This is so crucial and so important to the king. For example, 180 days, that was the party. That's a long time to party. The last day was as lavish as the first. Wine was given to every person who attended. Wine which was older than the person to whom it was given. It was given in gold vessels, gold cups. Not two cups were the same. Each were different and nothing was used twice. Right? That's true. The king miscalculated the time of the exile. And he thought the 70 years already had passed. And you see that the Beis Hamikdash is not going to be rebuilt. The Jews are not going to go back. Right? So he felt secure enough to reveal the 1,080 treasures that Nebuchadnezzar had buried in the river Euphrates. Right? And he revealed 6 of them each day for 180 days, 1,080 treasures, right? But not only that, he came to the Suda wearing the garments of the Kohen Gadol. You see how much he's putting into this feast, this party. How could you not attend? If they would have asked, let's say, a political advisor to the king, he would say something a little bit differently, especially if he knows the Bible. He would say, there's a difference between a constitutional monarchy and a absolute monarchy. For example, a constitutional monarchy, the king serves the people. In an absolute monarchy, the state serves the king. In a constitutional monarchy, the treasury belongs to the people. The king is the guardian of the treasurer, of the treasury. But in an absolute monarchy, Fort Knox belongs to the king. In a constitutional monarchy, the king has no right to change the capital of the state. In an absolute monarchy, he can do whatever he wants. In a constitutional monarchy, the king has to listen to his advisors, his cabinet. In an absolute monarchy, he doesn't have to listen. In a constitutional monarchy, the king is subservient to the religion of the state. In an absolute monarchy, he doesn't have to pay attention to the religion. Now let's see what's happening over here. If I'm correct, said the political advisor, if I'm correct, Ahasuerus is trying to pull something off with this feast. He's trying to show that his is not limited, not a constitutional monarchy, his is an absolute monarchy. How? First of all, he changed the capital from Bavel to Shushan. Second of all, he made such a lavish feast, he's showing that the treasury is just his to spend. Fort Knox belongs to him. Third of all, right, as you know, he wasn't really of royal lineage. His claim to the throne in terms of royalty was only through his wife, Vashti, through the queen. She was the granddaughter of Nebuchadnezzar, right? But now, he tells her to come to the feast just to show off her beauty, as if to say, I don't need you for my absolute monarchy. I don't need your lineage. I just have you for your beauty. Right? And by the way in which he ordered her to appear at the party was definitely against any religion. She should come only in her royal crown. So we see very clearly that he's trying to show with this party that he is the absolute monarch. Now, what would happen if an entire group, all the Jewish people, would not attend? Not one would attend. That would anger the king so much, it would be political suicide. And so, those arguments prevailed, and our people attended the feast of Achashverosh. Did anything happen? No. 9 years passed. 9 years is a long time. 9 years passed, from the 3rd year of the reign to the 12th. And now, Haman has been given power as second in command. And he's ordered people to be mishtachaveh to him. And Mordechai, once again, Mordechai seems to show himself as a radical extremist. Once again, Mordechai refuses to bow. Even though the Gemara says clearly that it was not avodah zarah, that it was permissible because of fear of the Malchus, Mordechai says, no, I'm from the descendants of Binyamin, I can't bow down. So once again, Mordechai is, and that's what they said to him. In the words of Chazal, they said to him, Tia Yadei, you should know that Atam Apilenu, you're putting us into the sword of this Russia. They said that to him. And then things are very strange, things are happening. Esther, who was connected with Mordechai, right, was making parties for the king. And now what happens? They say, Mordechai says to fast for 3 days and 3. Fast for 3 days. Let's say you were there. Would you listen to Mordechai? Or would you make a demonstration to show once and for all that the Jewish people disassociate themselves with extremism, with this political insanity, and then they're not connected with Mordechai, that they're loyal to the king? Let's make a demonstration. To fast for 3 days, that's what we have to do tshuva? If you were there, what would you have done? What would you have done? Would you have the Amunas Chachamim to accept something that you did in any way understand? And that every logical way said it's pikuach nefashos for us to follow the ways of Achashverosh and to give in and bow down to him. What would have been if the Jewish people would have made such a demonstration and not fasted and not done tshuva and not heeded the words of Mordechai? You know what would have been. You know what would not have been. There would not have been a Purim. There would not have been the Ness of Purim, the Yeshua and the Chum of Purim. It would not have been. The King of Akiblu would not have been. All that would have been lost. And we know that the two Yomim Tovim, Chanukah and Purim, are the Yomim Tovim of Galus. They teach us how to survive in a difficult exile in Galus. And that means Purim teaches us that we need to believe in the Chachamim, the Amunus Chachamim, even when it seems to us not to make sense. We don't understand it. But we accept the Gedolim, the Chachamim, the leaders of Klal Yisrael. And that Amunus Chachamim that brought the Nes of Purim, that's going to bring us once again to those Yeshuas and Nechamas, when we're going to see the Gula Shlema and the Binyan Bayis Shlishi. Have a great and meaningful